Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Kahallah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakadash. Alright, first and foremost, we'd like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, and to the Bayasha Dabadat, the house of David. Shalom. All right, this is Men of Valor, Las Vegas camp. I am Ayash Tad. And we're coming to you today through the power and will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, but without further ado, we're going to do a video on, a clip that we've seen. That we're watching this video, all right, on the chariots. And let me just go ahead and read the scripts. This is Salakia. This is the book of Ecclesiastes. It's going to be chapter 1 and verse 9. And it reads, "The thing that has been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun." All right? So there's no new thing under the sun, meaning people, meaning objects, as far as, miracles and so on and so forth. Everything has been done, all right? And matter of fact, the chariots, all right, as you're about to see, they're not new, all right? People are looking at them as it's a new phenomenon or something like that, but they have been since the beginning of time, all right? Continuing on, this is verse 10, and it reads, "Is there anything wherefore it may be said, see, this is new, and hath been already old times, which was before us?" All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play this clip. You got to look pretty closely about the 6 minute and between the 25-second and the 35-second mark. If you look up in roughly the middle, towards the middle of the screen, to the right hand, more towards the right hand side, you'll see a chariot. All right, and this is spiritual as well, because this video is actually on the one of the videos that I re-uploaded and of the Exodus. All right, and through the Spirit, let me go ahead and play the video.
Only made it through the canyons that snaked their way through the mountains, but now they were trapped on the beach. And the angel of God who went before the camp of Israel moved and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud went from before them and stood behind them. So it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. It was here that the pillar of cloud blocked the Egyptians from advancing toward the children of Israel. For there was on each side a ridge of mountains that terminated at the sea, which were impassable by reason of their roughness, and obstructed their flight. There must have been excitement as they reached the beach at the sea, but that soon turned to gloom as they discovered their plight. They were trapped on the beach, awaiting their death at the hands of Pharaoh. From the middle of the beach, we can see the opening of Pihahiroth in the distance, but we head south in order to locate an amazing marker here at the beach.
All right, hey, I'm gonna run that back one more time just to see if you, just in case you didn't get it. Through this,
almost like right in the middle, top center.
Con.
From the middle of the beach, we can see the opening of Pihahiroth in the distance, but we head south in order to locate an amazing marker here at the beach.
All right. So if you go and watch this video that I reposted or find it on another brother's channel, all right, watch that video and see for yourself. All right, there is a chariot right there talking about, as this narrator on this program is talking about the Exodus. All right, the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians. Matter of fact, just go ahead and get Exodus 1 and 5.
Just like our you know, the prophets before us, you know, they seen chariots. You know, we gonna see chariots too. It's only right for that it happened like that.
God.
And how you know they were saved by the chariots
God.
out of Egypt. You know, we're gonna be saved out of modern day
Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah,
the same way,
Babylon, the same way.
the same exact way. So this is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher, and all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
God. All right. So through this Exodus, all right, it was you, Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Cubans, Uruguay, Colombians, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans. All right, you are the children of Israel. You are who the Most High looked after in that wilderness. You are who He sent that pillar of fire for. It's you. All right. At this time, it was the whole nation of Israel, the whole nation. All right, but only 1/3 is going to be saved now. All right. But without further ado, let's go ahead and keep on going into it and pull a couple more scripts in Exodus. All right. And just to prove that to you. All right. This is the book of Exodus. This is going to be chapter 13. And I'm going to start at verse 20. And it reads, as it you've seen the commentator do, but it reads, and they took their journey from Sokoth and encamped in Ethma, in the edge of the wilderness. And Yahweh went before them by day in a pillar of cloud and led them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, and Salakia, to give them light to go by day and night. All right, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushai provided a chariot to give them day in the day and to provide them with light by night to protect them from the Pharaoh and his armies. All right, this is it. Hey, it's the spirit that this that this is the Exodus that they're having documentary on. All right, and at the very moment where they're starting to show the sea, you know, the path where they departed. All right, departing Egypt, the path that they're departing Egypt, there's a chariot in the midst in the video, documented.
Yeah.
All right, documented. This video has to be in the 80s, early 90s. All right.
You know, those are those signs of beat times. You know,
God.
the signs that were left by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know, to give us hope. You know. You know, because there's been a lot of, you know, scoffers lately questioning the validity of the 12 charts tribe, you know, but there is enough scriptural evidence, but their questions on it just is more so in the spiritual aspect. But, you know, when you look at it, like, who else is going through the same things as Israel, you know?
God.
Who else is suffering every day and being plagued with the curses? You know, you can't apply that to nobody else.
God. It's only Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Mexicans. All right, it's you.
Oh.
All right?
You want me to grab 14?
Yeah, 14, 21 through 25.
Come on. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 21. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided.
God, so it was dry land. That chariot departed the way because the chariot went before them.
God.
All right?
God, and I forgot to bring up, you know, in the last in chapter 13, you know, the chariots were there to be a light at night, you know, and to cover them during the daytime.
God.
You know, going into we was just in Maccabees, reading Maccabees the
God.
other day. You know, when that group of soldiers got attacked, you know, that had broke off from the was it the Grecian rulers?
God.
You know,
Alexander, I believe.
so they broke out and they had sent an army on them to attack them on the Sabbath. You know, the next time that they got attacked on the that they said that if we got attacked on the Sabbath again, then you know we're gonna fight this time.
God.
Because last time they was holding true to the law statutes of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But anyways, so the next time they got attacked on the Shabbat, the Lord you know didn't let the sun set, so they were able to fight that whole next account.
God. Hey, that's the spirit, man.
Back to Exodus chapter 14. Start back at 21. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. You know, so Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is manipulating, you know, manipulating the elements to look out after his people. You know, who's to say he's not going to do that in these times of Jacob's trouble?
Matter of fact, let me back up a little bit more in the video. Slakia. Back up a little bit more in the video.
For there was on each side a ridge of mountains that terminated at the sea, which were impassable by reason of their roughness, and obstructed their flight. There must have been excitement as they reached the beach at the sea, but that soon turned to gloom.
Alright, so right there, that's an account of something impossible, you know, an impossible route. That you couldn't have took that way without Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, without having that power.
Hey, this is Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 15. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire and with chariots, like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. All right? And I read that because, hey, at night, what was it?
It was a pillar of fire.
Pillar of fire. All right? Pillar of fire by night. All right? And this isn't the only account, you know. A little further in this video, I'll get you another account of something recent that just happened that looks very similar. All right?
Yeah.
Play this a little bit.
It was here that the pillar of cloud blocked the Egyptians from advancing toward the children of Israel.
Hey, and right there through the spirit, the pillar, the cloud. All right, that cloud right there of darkness, all right? It hit them, but it was a light on the other side for the Israelites to go and see their way through. All right?
Kind of, you know, hey, he just still calling it a cloud, even though he know what it is. Changing the name up, you know. Used to be a UFO, now it's a UAP.
Yeah, God.
You know, because now it's a national threat. You know,
right? It's a worldwide threat. These other nations know too.
Right. They just had it was a national security breach.
Right.
They're trying to blame it on China. China ain't got that technology.
They're just trying to keep you sheeple dumbed down.
Ain't nobody on this earth can do what the Most High did right there.
God.
Plain and simple. Ain't nobody got that.
Hey, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 104 and verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh his clouds like chariots, who walketh upon the wings of the wind.
Power.
You know? So that's Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. When Moses parted that Red Sea, that was by the power and the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That was that whirlwind. You don't think there was a wind, all that water being parted directly in half so they could walk across on dry land? Come on now.
And that's the faith that Moses had to have, knowing that the Lord was going to provide in those times. Because everybody, I know, a lot of the Israelites behind them was they was believing in him, but they was looking when things got kind of sketchy. They was wondering.
God.
And those are the 2/3 today.
God.
Let's get back in. This is Exodus chapter 14, verse 23. And it reads, and the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watched the Lord look unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians, and took off their chariot wheels that they drove them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians.
God. Hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushai fights our battles. All right? He may have us do the work. All right? But the victory is in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? Because anytime we went to war without our power, we were as nothing. Okay? Right. Anytime we tried to escape from our enemy, we couldn't, because we're nothing without our power.
We're that worm. Jacob, that worm.
God.
A worm is defenseless.
God. Hey.
I'm gonna grab that in.
Con, you can grab that. I'm gonna let me grab this right quick. This is gonna be 1 Kings. 1 Kings chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 10, and it reads, and he said, thou hast asked and heard things. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am, take from thee, and shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. All right. And Salakia, this was the account of Elijah and Elias asking for a double portion of his blessing. All right. And then being able to see the chariot. Let me go on to read 2 Kings chapter 2 and verse 11. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by whirlwind into heaven. All right. So by whirlwind into heaven. Where was also another whirlwind? Hey. In Exodus. All right. Oh. By fire in Exodus. All right. So that same message is being sent. That chariot. You're seeing it firsthand for yourself in the video. All right.
And I'm gonna connect that because just how Elias seen Elijah get power right before he got beamed up. After he got beamed up, Elias was able to get some of that same power that he did.
God.
Elias was his servant
because he got that double portion.
God.
And so, earlier in the script, if you can start at Second Kings chapter 2 verse 1 and take it all the way through verse 14, really, and read that account.
Done. And then so like the power was passed down. That's gonna be in these times coming up. That's gonna be the elect getting raised up.
God.
That's gonna be the elect getting those powers to do these wondrous works.
God, and Abaratazar would be of that number.
Yeah, right by the side of by side of that lamb.
God.
You want me to grab Jeremiah real quick?
God, you can grab Jeremiah.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 13. It says, "Behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariots shall be as a whirlwind. His horses are swifter than eagles. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled." That's woe unto the 2/3 in the heathen nations. And the Edomites, first and foremost, being that chief nation of wickedness. That's who's spoiled. Spoiled, rotten. Meaning that they ain't no good, not that they being spoiled by the Most High.
God, and you see it, but you see it each and every day. You see it as these things are coming to pass, that these Edomites and these other nations and these 2/3 are starting to get scared. They have to release this stuff by the 25th, or already leaked for these new photos and so on and so forth. But it goes to show you that these been here the whole time, And this is just a video account that so happens that the eye caught it, the spiritual eye caught it. I got one more that I'm going to show you, and then we're going to go ahead and close out after that. Salakia.
This morning, a report that the government cannot explain those mysterious objects caught on video by the military. From an upside-down pyramid-like object hovering above a Navy destroyer to cylindrical spheres disappearing into the ocean.
Splashed. Mark bearing and range.
To video allegedly showing one of the U.S. Navy's stealth ships tracking an unidentified object in the sky. Now, ahead of the release of a declassified Pentagon report, the New York Times says these papers do little to clarify what the videos show. The New York Times reporting that intelligence officials are worried the videos show America's adversaries may be racing ahead of the U.S. in developing elite weapons technology. Senior officials expressing concern to the paper about China. NBC News' request for comment. Jeremy Corbell is the man who released many of these leaked videos.
There's a lot of pressure by the global public and the American public, for answers.
And it's not just the public asking questions. Former intelligence officers and even presidents have been talking about this for weeks. Now, lawmakers on intelligence committees are demanding answers.
There's enough obvious evidence here that we need to take this seriously, not downplay it.
Yeah, one of the big concerns.
It's playing upon tables right there. You see it firsthand, all right?
Just like real quick, just like how the Elohim and Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai is using his powers, to push that to make that devil, feel the pressure cracking down and letting them know that his time is coming. We gotta keep on digging in these scriptures, making videos and exposing these devils, man, every day.
God.
Every day.
Go ahead and grab it.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 5, verse 1. "Then I turned and lift up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that is stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it."
Like God. So 2/3 of our own nation is going to get cut off. All right? And this is the curse that go over the whole earth. But it's salvation to Abaratazah, us of the 1/3. The 144,000 elect men, women, and children.
And those that swear are those devils, man. That's key. You know, they make you swear over a Bible before you take the stand.
God. But I'm going to play this one more time, and then we're going to go ahead and close out.
For there was on each side a ridge of mountains that terminated at the sea, which were impassable by reason of their roughness, and obstructed their flight. There must have been excitement as they reached the beach at the sea, but that soon turned to gloom as they discovered their plight. They were trapped on the beach, awaiting their death at the hands of Pharaoh. From the middle of the beach, we can see the opening of Pihahiroth in the distance, but we head south in order to locate an amazing marker here at the beach.
Hey, they weren't awaiting their death, they were awaiting their salvation, you know? And as you've seen the chariot, that chariot like that one, all right? Whether it be a triangle, whether it be a roll, you know, whether it be a tic-tac or whatever, whatnot, that is the chariot of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right? But, you got anything else?
No.
Hey, without further ado, we'd like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, our apostles of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with the 144% sincerity, to the moon, men, women, and children listening, learning, to the Bayah Shadabadad. Till the next time, this Men of Valor, Las Vegas Camp, Shalom.